Greetings, America, and beyond, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of a vast world of nutritional supplementation. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist number 12275 from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and to your well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 26 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity, skin diseases like acne and psoriasis and rosacea, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries and reversals that by the standards of the modern medical model can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while it may seem like a miracle to some folks, this renewing system is really just the way the body works. Business as usual for the human body. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to get off your meds, if you want to help a loved one get off their meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we're here to help you. Our number today, our number every day on The Bright Side is 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. If you want to learn more about the longevity products, the ones I take and the ones I recommend, you can go to my website, brightsideben.com. Take a look at the shopping cart we have up there with all the longevity products, including the BTT, my personal favorite, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine multivitamin mineral complex powder that you add to water and drink. It gives your body that nice steady state, low-level influx of nutrients that it loves so much, vitamins A, C, D, E, K. The B complex, minerals, magnesium, calcium, it's loaded with nutrients, a cornucopia of nutrition for just $50 or so a canister. What are you waiting for? If you haven't tried it, you owe it to yourself, especially if you're dealing with some kind of health issue. You owe it to yourself to at least give the Beyond Tangy Tangerine a shot. Go to my website, brightsideben.com. Take a look at the shopping cart with the BTT and all the other longevity products. You'll also find a Join Now link that you can click on. If you want to make some money, if you want to start a business, if you want to get yourself your products at the wholesale price, or if you want to help everybody understand how to use nutritional supplements, how to get on board with the nutritional supplement program that we talk about every day here on The Bright Side, click on the Join Now link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com, or you can call Phyllis and Andy or anybody in the Bright Side Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. All right, thanks so much for joining us once again. I want to continue talking about niacin and dementias and Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia, although, as we said yesterday, there are other forms of dementia, whether it's Alzheimer's or semantic dementia or vasomotor dementia. They're all the same type of pathologies. They're basically breakdown diseases of the brain, breakdown diseases that affect brain cells, just like arthritis is a breakdown disease that affects the cartilage-making cells, and multiple sclerosis is a breakdown disease that affects nerve cells, and fatty liver disease is a breakdown disease that affects liver cells. Dementias are breakdown diseases that affect brain cells. The medical model would have you think that there are hundreds, maybe thousands of different diseases. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, there are 12,000 different diseases. But the Bright Side philosophy says all diseases can be described as breakdown disorders. The body is breaking down. And when you look at it that way, it makes it so much simpler to deal with. Dementias are arthritis of the brain, or if you prefer, arthritis is Alzheimer's of the joints. This is a key principle of the Bright Side philosophy, and it makes dealing with these kinds of health challenges simple and understandable. Unlike the medical model, which regards dementias as progressive and irreversible, The bright side perspective for dealing with dementia or any other breakdown disease is simply to remove the causes of the breakdown, which are inflammatory factors and immune system triggers, and make sure you're delivering lots of the building nutrients and protecting your immune system with strengthening nutrients. That's it, people. That's all. If you do this, if you follow this program of eliminating inflammatory factors, which are mostly foods, if you follow this program of eliminating inflammatory factors and immune triggers and then loading up with building nutrients, protein, essential fatty acids, micronutrients, minerals, if you follow this regimen, there is no way that you are not going to be improving, feeling better, and literally reversing the breakdown process, and you don't need a doctor to do it. And you don't need drugs to do it. And you don't need an insurance program or Obamacare to do it. It's really as simple as that. Almost every couple of days, an article appears in some medical journal about a potential treatment for Alzheimer's disease, which is the most common type of dementia. But when you understand this idea of breakdown and build up, it becomes very easy to understand how you can address dementia as you can address all breakdown degenerative diseases without drugs and without doctors. The only thing we need to do, the only thing we need to understand is to figure out what is causing the cells to break down, and almost always you're going to find inflammation, you're going to find starvation, that is cellular starvation, and you're going to find suffocation, that is lack of oxygen delivery to the cells. That's pretty much it, folks, and this is such good news, especially if you or a loved one are dealing with dementias. Because most doctors will tell you that dementias are irreversible and there's nothing you can do except maybe slow down the devastating progression with medications which do not cure or reverse the disease. They simply, at best, slow it down. As of today, there's two main classes of drugs that are used to treat Alzheimer's patients. One type works by keeping a brain chemical called ACH, or acetylcholine, in the brain at normal amounts. That's how Aricept, which is the best-selling Alzheimer's drug, Razidine and Exelon, these are basically drugs that keep acetylcholine, the brain chemical acetylcholine, you can call it ACH, they keep this stuff from breaking down. They keep it active for a longer period of time. This is how a lot of brain chemicals work. This is how, or brain drugs work. This is how Prozac works and Effexor works. These drugs keep brain chemicals from being destroyed. So they keep these brain chemicals active for a longer period of time. The second type of drug is something called memantine, and this is a drug that activates or works or regulates with another brain chemical called glutamate, and this drug is even less effective than the other drugs, and it's only used as a last resort for moderate to severe cases of Alzheimer's that are progressing quickly. The most important thing that you want to know about both of these types of drugs that are used to treat dementia, the most important thing you want to recognize is the fact that they do not cure. They do not reverse. They barely slow down the progression of the disease. Don't waste your money, people. Don't waste your money. If you are dealing with a dementia, if you're dealing with Alzheimer's disease or you have a loved one who's dealing with Alzheimer's disease, don't waste your money on doctors or drugs. They cannot help you. They cannot help you. Now, are you lost? Is there nothing you could do? Are you helpless? No. Nutritional supplementation is so powerful and it's so effective for especially dealing with brain health issues. Nutritional supplementation, as you know, if you're listening to this program or if you've listened to this program for any length of time, or if you started a nutritional supplement program, you know getting yourself on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, getting yourself on nutrients, changing the way you eat can have dramatic, powerful effects on all health issues, but no system of the body is more receptive to nutrition and nutritional supplementation than the central nervous system, than the brain. So you're not helpless. If you have dementias, it is so amazing and quick what can happen once you get on a nutritional supplement program. Drugs will, at best, slow down the progression. At best, for the most part, they'll simply hide the symptoms and make the disease maybe a little bit easier to deal with. And then, of course, no drugs come without side effects. So in addition to not doing anything about your dementia, you're now going to have to be dealing with adverse reactions, diarrhea, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, anxiety, loss of sleep, and in the case of Residine, a significantly higher death rate, at least according to one study that's mentioned on the Mayo Clinic's Alzheimer's disease website. Well, we've got lots of stuff to talk about here, lots more about nutritional supplementation for dementia. We'll tell you what that is, how you can use supplements for brain health issues when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back after this. All right, we're back on the bright side. Thank you for joining us, friends. We're here 5 days a week, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central. If you like what you hear, tell your friends. And you can also get us 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com, where you'll find a shopping cart with all the longevity products that you hear us talk about. If you're not feeling as well as you know you can feel, if you're dealing with joint pain, brain fog, autoimmunity, digestive issues, blood sugar issues, if you're overweight, if you have high blood pressure, if you have chronic fatigue, I want you to know that it's all reversible. Chronic degenerative disease is an aberration. It's not supposed to happen. The body always, always, always wants to heal. It is its way. It's the way of the body. Revelation 21.21.5. Behold, I make all things new again, and nothing says that more than the body, which regenerates itself on a moment-to-moment basis. Imagine what life can be like pain-free, fatigue-free, illness-free, and that is what's possible once you make changes in how you live your life and how you treat your body. And step number one is to start a nutritional supplementation program. What are you waiting for, people? If you're dealing with any kind of chronic illness, it is so easy. Go to my website, brightsideben.com. Either click on the Join Now link on the upper left-hand corner of the page, or check out the shopping cart and get yourself on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It's $50 for a canister, and you will thank me. If you're like 99% of the folks who are using this stuff, you will notice results quickly within 1 or 2 doses for most people. You can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Our number today on the bright side, 866-582-9933. If you've got questions about health or nutrition, we'll get to your phone calls here in the next segment. Continuing on with dementias and Alzheimer's disease, the drug model, surprise, surprise, does not work, which should be pretty obvious if you have Alzheimer's dementia or any other dementia, because it's not a drug deficiency disease. Why would a drug work? Why would a drug do anything but mask symptomology? Because Alzheimer's disease has nothing to do with drugs. It has to do with breakdown in the body. It has to do with the same breakdown that causes all degenerative diseases. And, of course, that's not a reason for drug companies to not try to come up with more ridiculous medications to keep the dementia at bay. The fact that it's not a drug deficiency disease has nothing to do with the fact that drug companies are not still looking for ways to deal with Alzheimer's dementia. Tuesday, Swedish researchers who are working for Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson announced that they have come up with yet another pharmacological strategy for Alzheimer's. This one is a drug called, check this one out, bapineuzumab. Bapineuzumab. Where do they come up with these names? Bapineuzumab. No kidding. Bapineuzumab is a drug that is supposed to stabilize the sticky proteins that accumulate in the brain. Alzheimer's disease is marked by these tangles formed by proteins that are coming out of dysfunctional cells, according to researchers who were working for Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer. Patients who took the drug had 9% less plaque than patients who didn't take the drug. 9% less plaque. Unfortunately, the drug didn't slow down any cognitive decline. It didn't improve any of the activities of daily living. And there was another little problem. 15 of the patients who took the drug died. And that's what drugs do, people. Even if you don't know, even if it's not killing you right away, prescription drugs are accelerating your demise. And if you're on multiple prescription drugs, it's even worse. If you are on a prescription drug, your number one health strategy, your number one health goal has to be to get off of that drug. And how dare a doctor, how dare a medical professional who is supposed to be taking care of illness put you on a poison? How do they live with themselves? If you're on a prescription drug, and if you're on multiple prescription drugs, it's even more important. You need to understand that you are accelerating your demise. Even if you feel fine, your body is processing that drug as it processes any poison. You are literally giving yourself a poison, and I'm not being poetic here. It's literally a poison. Your body's poison control system is kicking in to try to detoxify that stuff. So anyway, so there's bapineuzumab. Despite less than rousing success, Eli Lilly is planning on developing their own version of bapineuzumab, solanezumab. Same idea. Drugs that are supposed to stop these dysfunctional brain cells from producing plaque. But all is not lost, folks. If you or a loved one is dealing with any dementia, remember the hallmarks of these brain diseases are cell starvation, cell suffocation, and inflammation, and you don't need any medical model to address these kinds of biochemical dysfunction. As far as the starvation goes, remember the third D of niacin deficiency disease is dementia. Niacin deficiency disease goes by the name pellagra, and it's marked by the 4 Ds: diarrhea, dermatitis, dementia, and death. Niacin is an activity vitamin, and it's especially important for cells that are using a lot of energy, cells of the digestive system, cells of the skin, and cells of the brain. The first thing you want to do for your dementia patient is make sure they're getting enough niacin, vitamin B3. If grandma or grandpa or your mom or your dad is starting to become forgetful or showing some signs of delirium or learning disabilities, get them on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine or the Ultimate Daily. Get them on time-release niacin. Give it a couple of weeks. You will be blown away by what you find out. Some of you may remember Ted Anderson, the owner of the Genesis Communication Network. Ted Anderson had a story about his dad. His dad was dealing with some dementia issues. Ted got his dad started on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Within a couple of days, in Ted's words, he had his dad back. Now, Ted's not a doctor, and you don't have to be a doctor to get these kind of results. Isn't it interesting how there isn't a drug on the planet that can reverse Alzheimer's? And doctors will tell you that dementias are irreversible, but within a couple of weeks of a nutritional supplementation program, you can notice results that doctors and drugs cannot give you. Within a couple of weeks of a nutritional supplementation program, a layperson like Ted Anderson can accomplish what doctors couldn't with a simple nutritional supplement that costs around $50 a month. And considering the 4th D of niacin deficiency disease is death, supplementing with niacin, vitamin B3, may end up saving your loved one's life too. Name me one drug that can make that claim. Other approaches to Alzheimer's include anti-inflammation. Remember, dementias are about brain cell breakdown, and lurking behind all breakdown is inflammation. Inflammation is the manifestation of a defense system, the immune system, that has been activated. Inflammation is a defensive reaction. It's the way the body is protecting itself. How do you stop a defensive reaction? Well, you can always take the medical approach, which is to poison the defense system. You can poison your immune system. You can poison your inflammatory system. Let me say that again because that is so important. If you're a doctor, what you'll probably do to take care of inflammation is poison the inflammation system. That's how anti-inflammatories work. They poison the inflammation system. They poison the immune system. They poison the defense system. Now, if that doesn't sound very smart, it's probably because you haven't gone to medical school. Because if you did, you would say, like the authors of a study that was published in the journal Dementia, that you would say that poisoning the immune system, poisoning the defense system with anti-inflammatory and immune-suppressing drugs is an effective strategy. Now, if you're not a doctor, you may think, well, gosh, maybe I don't want to poison my body's defense system. Maybe I should figure out what's causing this defensive inflammatory reaction. I wonder what is triggering my inflammation. Maybe I can eliminate those triggers. All right, got more to talk about. We'll take your phone calls when we come back on the bright side. Our number's 866-582-9933. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back at you with more good health information right after this. Do not touch that dial.